The snook, the most sought after inshore game species in the state of Florida. As somebody who's always targeted this particular species, the question I get asked most often is, what is your PB? And for the longest time, I was stuck at a certain number and I couldn't seem to cross it. Of course, the times that I caught the biggest snook, I didn't have my tape. Well, the stars aligned for me and I finally was able to get an absolutely gigantic snook on tape. One of the biggest that I've ever seen personally and the biggest that I've ever seen on YouTube. This video is a tribute to my favorite species in the world, the snook, aka the line sider. Massive snook. Massive snook. That's a giant snook. That's a giant snook. That is a monster snook. That is a monster snook. There it is. Got it. Got it. That's another giant. That's another mega snook. Just running. Wait till you guys see this fish. Wait till you see this fish. What started out like any other day turned out to be one of the greatest days of fishing I've ever had in my entire life. For the longest time since I can remember, I was just a young kid hooked on snook fishing. That's kind of the thing I've always been known for, and that's what I've always done. I come from a family of fishermen. My dad was a fisherman, older brother was a fisherman, my grandfather was a fisherman, and we grew up on the southwest coast of Florida. And what's the #1 species that people target inshore? Always the snook. The snook is the fish that everybody is after. The snook is the fish that everybody wants to catch when they're fishing inshore around docks, piers, bridges, and structure. And for the longest time, my personal best snook was held at 44 inches, and I couldn't surpass that on tape. Now, we all have our stories about snook that we caught that were bigger than that when we didn't have tape. Personally, I think that I passed that mark one time in my entire life, and I think it was 46 to 47 inches, but we'll save that story for another day. Today is about my personal best on tape, and it happened after being on a bite pattern for 3 days straight. I had caught a 44-inch snook 2 days prior, which you guys can check out that video at the link in the description. It was gonna be what I thought the biggest snook on my channel for a long time. It was massive, a true 30-pound fish. People use that term really loosely when it comes to snook fishing, but being somebody who's fished for striper for 4 years of my life and also targeted massive jack, I know that very, very rarely do snook actually reach a size of 30 pounds. We tend to overestimate their weight, and not many people weigh them because you don't wanna hold them vertically, it can cause a lot of damage. Anyways, that said, I caught that fish, and then the next day I went back to finish the pattern that I thought I had been on, and it produced one of the best days of my life. I caught, I believe, 4 overslots. That video is also available, and I caught a 41 and a 40 or something like that. But then, the third day, I didn't have much time because I've been working all day, and I told my wife, I think I'm gonna try to get out for 2 hours and see if that pattern continues. The temperature had dropped dramatically. The air temp on this day was about 58 degrees. 2 days prior was about 72 and 75. The water temp had also dropped from 74 to 72, and then on this day it was about 67 degrees. So when I got out, I wasn't sure what would happen. But then I threw my first bait down, and it was pretty epic. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was the biggest snook I've probably ever hooked in my life. So after I lost that fish, I was convinced that it was a massive snook. It's always the ones that get away that keep us entertained and make us think that we're missing out on something. The ones that keep us out at night. And that particular fish, you couldn't see very well in the angle. I don't even think you could see it at all because my arm covered the chest. He was really big. To be truthful with you guys, I literally called my wife and I was like, sweetheart, I think I just lost the 48. It was so big and I was so excited. I was like, it's gonna happen again. And then it was dead for literally an hour straight. And I kept pitching out mullet, and it was to no avail. I didn't get anything. And finally, I pitched out a mullet on the mangrove line, and I felt a massive thump on the bottom, and I was so excited for this. Just saw a giant eat on these mangroves, like mega, mega snook. They're here. They're definitely here. Oh my God, that's me. That wasn't me. I'm on this one. I'm on this one. Big freaking snook, dude. Big freaking snook. Massive snook. Massive snook. Massive snook. It's so big. Massive snook. This might be the biggest snook in my life. Oh my God. Guys, this is definitely a snook, and it's an absolute giant. I haven't had a snook fight that hard in years. This thing is absolutely ginormous. I mean, there's a slim chance it's a jack because it hasn't jumped. But everything about the fight just screams snook to me. And now I'm starting to feel jack stuff, which would suck, because that would be a letdown. It's a freaking jack. It's a jack, guys. It just fought so weird. I was convinced that it was a snook. Now I just want to get in and get a big snook, because there's big snook everywhere. It's a big jack. It's a really big jack. But it's not like... Check that out. Lo and behold, it was a massive jack crevalle, a 20-pound class fish. Very, very, very good fish to catch. Never disappointed. But it wasn't really what I was after that day. You guys know I love my jack. I always go after them, especially the big behemoths. But I was convinced that this jack was a snook. It literally fought just like a snook, and I'll explain the difference. Jack typically will take a hard run, and then they'll start to do these circles where they use their body on their side to generate more weight, and they start to feel super heavy, and they sway, sway, sway. They also have really long fins on their side that you can often feel the line rubbing against. It almost feels like you're losing a hook. Like if you have trebles, it feels like one's popping out. But most of the time, it's just their fin hitting it. That never happened in this fight. This fish dug to the bottom, tried to get to the mangroves, wasn't able to, and just kept digging straight, 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 which is much more like a snook. Snook typically will dig straight, with the current down and just take a hard straight run. And then once you're able to turn them, they face you and they shake their head, and that's typically when you lose them, especially the big ones. They're not able to jump all the way out of the water, so they get their head out of the water and shake their head, and most misses happen at that point. But this fish I really thought was a snook. Literally right after I caught this jack, and I'm gonna keep the clip rolling, I pitched out another bait, and it was absolutely nuts what happened. I love my jack when I'm targeting him. That was a little bit of a letdown, to tell you the truth. That's a giant snook. That's a giant snook. Oh my God. That's a mega snook. That is a monster. That is a monster snook. That is a monster snook. Well, maybe not. That might be a jack again. It ate just like a snook. Oh, wait, it surfaced. That might be a snook. This one felt even more snooky. So maybe the jack are just eating like snook. And this one ate just a mega mullet. That's a snook. That's a monster snook. That is a 40-inch snook. That is a 40-inch snook. That is a 40-inch snook. That is a 40. Oh my God, they're so strong right now. Give him the puppy. Don't go that way. Don't go that way. Don't go that way. Don't go that way. Come back this way. Yes, thank you for coming. Oh my God. Dude. Wait till you guys see this fish. I knew she ate like a snook. Holy moly. We're gonna measure her. People hate when I don't measure. This is a 40 all day. Wait till you see this snook. Sorry about the light. This is a 43-inch snook. Watch this. Let's get her on the tape. Zeroed out. 42, baby. Ooh. Oh, 42. Oh, you gotta be kidding. 42. Look at that thing. 42. What in the freaking world? 42. Look at that. Are you kidding me? 42 and healthy, baby. 42 and healthy. Oh my mama Sita. Oh, thank you God. God, what a fish. What a freaking fish. Oh, guys, what a freaking fish. She fought like a freaking monster jack. We gotta revive her. We really gotta revive her. Oh, she's off. Frick yeah. Boom. Can you tell I'm happy? Oh. Boom, there it is. A snook that most people might never even catch in their lifetime. An absolutely massive fish, 42.5 inches, and I was being generous. I probably could have got 43 out of that fish. If you hold a snook's tail down and pinch, you'll get like half an inch to an inch depending on how big their tail is and the shape of it. But that fish was healthy 42.5 without anything. And it was super, super thick and fat. This happened after catching a 44 2 days prior, a 41 or a 40.5, a 40, a 39, 38, actually 3 days prior, 37. Just so many big snook. I couldn't have been more excited. I actually called my wife after that and I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm back. I'm on them again. It's absolutely amazing. This has been such an epic week. And it started to get dark. And this is the part that for this is a little bit tragic, but you guys are still gonna get to see what I think is enough. I said to myself, let me pitch out one more bait. Let me just see if I can make it happen. I didn't have too many mullet left, but I had one hog and I kept hearing them eat. I was convinced at this point in the evening that maybe it was giant jack because the blowups I were hearing were absurd. So I pitched out another mullet, luckily on my big rod, a Shimano Tranx 401 HG on an 8-foot heavy. And lo and behold, within seconds, I felt a massive thump. A thump that I may never feel again. Twice back, so what a freaking day to be alive. The jack are here, the goat is back. 43, 44, 42, 41, 39.5, 38, 37. Woo! Oh my God. There it is. Got it. Got it. That's another giant. That's a giant snook. Oh my God. I still got her. I still got her. That's another mega snook. Just running. Another 42. Another 42. Are you kidding me? Another 42. I'm so sorry there's no light, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, guys. I'm so sorry it's dark. Dude, these snook are fighting like 25-pound jack. I have never caught snook that fight this hard. I don't want them to fight this hard because it's freaking cold. Oh my God, this one's giant. She's tired. She's so tired. Second wind. Where are you, girl? Oh my God. Oh my. Oh my God. Oh my God. We got her. We freaking got her. Wait till you guys see this fish. Wait till you see this fish. God. Dude, this might be 45 inches, guys. There's a freaking remora on this snook. Remora. There's a remora on this snook. This snook is 45 inches. Oh my God. Oh my God. Guys, this is the best shot I can get. This is a 45-inch snook. This is a 45-inch snook. I hope this shot is good. Oh my God. This thing is a true monster. The biggest snook I've ever put on tape. I really hope you guys can see this. Look at this thing. All right, let's get her back in the water. She kicked off so well. I'm so sorry, guys, that it's so dark and that it's nighttime. If you're still watching, I don't even know what to tell you. I know the footage sucks. That fish, that was the biggest snook I've ever put on tape. I've never put a 45 on tape. Wow. I have nothing to say right now. Holy smokes. If that doesn't make you subscribe, I don't know what else I could do, guys. That is the biggest snook I've ever seen on tape in my entire life. I've seen pictures of giants, but not on the tape. That was the biggest one I've ever seen on the tape, except for maybe one by this guy that guides in Crystal River. Speechless. Subscribe for more. So there it is, guys. Literally the biggest snook that I've ever put on tape. That snook, it's very hard to see in the video, and I was so frustrated. You have no idea how much I was, you know, excuse my French, bitching to my wife about it when I saw the footage. I was like, can you believe it that the biggest snook I've ever put on tape, it's got to be dark out. I got some really good footage, and if you pause it and you look at it and you know snook, you know that fish is 45 inches. You might have been able to pinch even more out of it, but that fish was absolutely gigantic. And if you guys heard in the video, when I put, after just catching a 42.5, 43-inch fish, and 2 days prior 44 and the day prior 41, when I put that fish on the deck, it was different. It was just different. When snook get that big, with every inch they gain in length, they gain way more girth. And so I knew when I lifted that fish, I was like, this fish is 45. I called it right there because it was just like something I had only ever seen in my life one time. And again, so many people claim they've caught 45s, 46s, even 50s, but I never see them on tape. I have seen other 45s on tape, less than a handful of times, and I've seen 146 in my entire life on tape, and I'm always looking, and I've even asked people to send them to me because I love to see it. But this, to me, was the biggest, heaviest snook I think I've ever caught, besides maybe one other time in my entire life. And it's gonna be really hard to beat. I set the bar pretty high, and I genuinely believe that this is the biggest snook ever caught in Florida on YouTube. If you guys have other videos where you've seen bigger ones, please link them below, because I'm sure they're out there. I just personally haven't seen them. I'm not trying to boast my ego or anything. It's just, I got lucky that day, and I was prepared. And skill is when luck meets preparation. So fortunately, I had the right gear, the right tackle, and I was able to actually capitalize on that moment. Obviously, with fishing, no matter who you are, there's always gonna be a little bit of luck, but you gotta have that preparation to land those fish. And this fish was an animal. This was a night that I will never forget. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like the content. I really work hard to come out here and produce good videos for you guys. This one was a little bit different because this one had a genuinely special place in my heart. I am still after the 50-inch snook, and I will get it one day. It doesn't matter if it happens in 10 years, 20 years, or 2 days. I'm gonna find that snook, and I'm gonna put him on tape for you guys. 50 inches coming at you one day. Only way to find out when I do it is to subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. You rock. You already know it. I'll see you guys on the next video.